So hi, today we're going to create a video of how to replace these standpipes in the float bowl carbs. This is both on the CBX and CB series on the Hondas and a number of other bikes. This is off a CBX. It's the first time I come across it. All 6 float bowls have cracked overflow tubes. So what I'm going to do now is show you how to go through testing these. I'm just going to do a couple, but I have tested all 6 already. First thing to do is put your finger over the top of the standpipe or the overflow tube. We're going to fill it with kerosene, like so. That's slightly higher than the normal float bowl height, so we can see there. Now what I'm going to do is just put this. In fact, you can see here this is dripping out already here, so we can see that it's fractured. But I'm just going to put the nozzle fairly close to the thing, and you'll see. You can see that one's got a really bad fracture. My finger's right over the top, so you can see it's fractured. Simple as that. Now we put it to the next one. Finger over the top again. And you can see there it's bubbling, so you can see that's fractured. So, you know, there is a solution to this, is to actually solder these. Personally, I don't recommend it because the fracture does continue. It's actually a stress fracture. Contrary to popular belief in freezing, it's a stress fracture. All my bikes have come from South Africa, where it never freezes. What it is, basically, it's a cold rolled tube. It's pressed in, and the stress fracture creates halfway up the tube and works its way to the top, and then works its way back down again. So what we're going to do is we're going to replace these out. So next step is to remove the tubes, and I'll catch you in a minute to show you how to do that. Okay, so we're at my drill press now. Now the next process we're going to do is we're going to remove this this overflow pipe or this standpipe. And what we're going to do is put the bowl of that overchoke in the drill press, and we're going to tighten this up. You have to excuse my chuck here. It's about time I got a new one, but we will get there in a minute. So we want to get this quite tight so we can get a good bit of purchase on that pipe. Now what I'm going to do is just there we go, simple as that. You can see the pipes come out. Now I know a lot of people had problems removing these. It's actually a very simple process. We can see there it's out, pipes out, so we're ready now to put the next one in. So I'll just prepare that and I'll come back to you. Okay, so in this particular case the tube actually did break off, which does happen sometimes. Now what I'm going to do is use a 3mm tap and tap these out, and what will happen is the tube will either start spinning or it will push itself out. There you go, I can feel that tube started turning now. So just keep turning it and pulling it at the same time, and it will come out. I promise you it will. There we go. So all you got to do, that's come out now. All you got to do is get a pair of vice grips and then remove that off the tap. So that's it. So if it does break off, very simple removal. You don't have to drill it out. You just get a tap and pull it out like that. Okay, so here's the new overflow tube. So what I've done with this is I've manufactured these. I manufacture these in my workshop. So, but what I do is this is manufactured and with a 1mm hole to stop the splashback. And then what we've got here is this is tinned and then machined to 12 microns, so it's going to fit in there. It's going to be a press soft fit. Now this is a one fit only, purely and simply because the soft solder will give, and if you pull it back out you'll lose the seal. If that happens, send them back to me and I'll reflow them for you and machine them to size. So what we're going to do is put them in the drill press like so. Tighten that up. Now on the bottom of the float bowl here, you can see you've got a flat section here. So we're going to put that on the flat surface. Actually, in my case, it's a V block. And we're then going to line it up with the hole, he says. And what we've got to do is make sure that that's still on there, so it's pushing down on the V-block and it's square. There you go, that's pushed nicely in. It's okay, I'm going to remove this now. Sorry, it's a bit fiddly with the camera trying to do this. Now, we can see that float, the overflow tube, if you check it, it's absolutely flat across there. So if you lay it flat on the drill press, you can see it's just about touching. It's just about touching there. So that's within about 1mm, which would be fine. So that's replacing. Now what we're going to do, we'll go back and we'll pressure test this one again. I've actually pressure tested these to 4 bar. When I tested them, I've put them in the oven, in the freezer, and environmentally tested them to make sure that they don't give and they don't give way. But that's a tight fit in there. Right, so let's go back to the compressor now. Okay, so here's the acid test. Excuse the pun. I'm going to now fill this up with paraffin. And we'll see now, when I put my finger over the top, there'll be no air bubbles.
Yeah.
No air bubbles. Now, put that right on there now, it's just completely filled it. So I think we'll all agree there that that is good to put back on the bike now. So that's how you do it. Catch up soon. Right, so I've now finished all 6 of these standpipes or overflow tubes. Basically, I was a bit surprised actually. They were so brittle that actually 5 of them broke off. But I've shown you how to remove them using a tap. Just as easy as pulling them out of the drill. If you prefer using a tap, it's actually just as easy. Just snap them off with a pair of vice grips, put the tap down in there and tap them out. They will break out. All 5 of them came out straight away. So here we go. So 5 of them are already done. So they're all now done. All new overflow tubes in there now. So actually this guy's very lucky because I gave him a quote to do this. He wanted a quick rebuild. But because it's given the opportunity to do the video, he's getting free overflow tubes in his carbs. Otherwise they arguably could be written off. So there we go. So if you want any of these overflow tubes, give me a shout on Facebook, on Messenger, and we'll put the link in at the end of the video. Catch up soon.